Welcome to News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery.
Welcome to the West Texas View. I'm Johnny Lou Avery, and it's a delight to introduce to you Tom Jones and Jackie McClinton with the SHARE organization. And I've had the good fortune to become acquainted with this organization, and it's so unique that and they've got something coming up that I wanted you to know about, and so we're going to have them back. We can't get it all covered in one program, but at least we can get an overview of this wonderful organization. Tom Jones is the executive director, and Jackie McClinton is the coordinator of volunteers for SHARE, which stands for Sharing Hands, a Respite Experience. And this was an organization started in 2005, and I'm going to let Tom give us a little bit about the history and its purposes.
In 2005, I taught school, and I ran into a parent that was just exhausted as she cared for a child with autism, and it was a 24/7 job. Yeah. Her son would get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and she'd have to stay up with him, and she needed a break. And so I went to our church, First Christian in Midland, and presented the idea of starting a respite care ministry for parents that raise kids with special needs. And so we did. We started in 2005 with 12 families, and on a Friday night from 6 to 10, those families would bring their kids with special needs and the siblings, and we would provide child care for them and provide activities and do fun things, watch movies and play games, and while the parents got a break and where they took some time just to spend on relationships. Mm-hmm.
So whether they were going home to take a nap or whether they were going on a date night with their as a family, they got some respite from this 24/7 care of this special needs child.
They did, and the parents don't have the time demands of raising a child with special needs keep them from having time to spend on relationships or to rest, and so our parents use that time in different ways, and sometimes it's to go on a date, sometimes it's to go home and rest, sometimes it's just to go out and meet other parents that have kids with special needs and compare stories, and many times it's just they like to spend quality time with their sibling. So it gives them the time that they need to live fuller lives and more complete lives, and they don't have that time when a child with special needs requires care all the time.
Well, did you model this after some other program, or did you just develop the program completely from scratch?
We modeled it. I had a friend that lived in McKinney, and they were involved in a respite care ministry called Friday Night Friends in Plano. And they do the same thing, and we modeled our respite care ministry after Friday Night Friends. And so we visited and talked with the people in Friday Night Friends, and they had actually been models for other respite care programs around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So they helped us to get started and helped us to learn how to organize it, and so they got us off to a great start.
Well, first of all, I think First Christian Church should be commended for this farsightedness in taking the initiative to do this, and particularly you as a member of that church that brought it to everybody's attention, because First Christian has been really at the forefront, the Christian churches, Disciples of Christ, have been at the forefront in a lot of good things in this area. For example, they started out of the Odessa Church, the Samaritan Counseling Center, that is such an important part. So I certainly commend you for this, but give a little bit more about it. It's not just to take those children and provide an activity and a time out, but you're also reaching out to the rest of the siblings and the rest of the family.
Right. We have programs just for the siblings too. Siblings are the forgotten family member, and they're left out of so many things, and they have to deal with so many issues like lack of attention. They have to care for the child with special needs a little bit more than other kids would do. And so
they demand attention more than the siblings do.
They do. And it's nobody's fault, but it's kind of the way it is, and they have to deal with a lot of issues on their own. And so we started a program called Sib Shop. It's a support program where siblings brothers and sisters can get together and enjoy fun activities and make friends with other siblings, just so that they know that they're not alone. And also we have some group discussions with, and adult siblings lead that, those people that have been there and walked in their shoes. And so we have some discussions about some common joys and common concerns that they all share, and it's a safe place to share those concerns and talk about those issues. And so we support the kids and the siblings in that way also.
And Jackie, one of the things that you mentioned early on is that you use a lot of volunteers to put this program on, and you're the coordinator of all the volunteers, and also I'm assuming the trainer of the volunteers. And one of the neat features about this is that it is totally free to the families.
There's absolutely no charge whatsoever to the families for our services.
And so the application process is not to exclude anybody, it's to make sure that you can that these are students you can handle, because the only ones you don't handle are the medically fragile.
Yes, ma'am.
So the application process, you might go into that a little bit.
There is an application for families that would like to use our services. If they'll contact us, and y'all will provide a phone number, if they'll contact us, we'll be sure and get them an application. And like you brought forth, the application is mainly just to make sure that we can service these children. There's an application for the actual child with special needs, and there's a separate application for the siblings. Because on respite night, we not only care for the child with special needs, we also care for the siblings as well. And if they'll just contact us, we'll be glad to get them an application. There again, it's just mainly to make sure that we can service these children.
Also, this is such a mushrooming thing. You've got to plan, coordinate volunteers, and also nurses, because you have nurses on duty.
We do, and we're always looking for volunteers, so anybody that's interested in working with children with special needs or the siblings, or perhaps is a sibling themselves, if they'll contact us, we'll get them to fill out an application.
That's a wonderful volunteer opportunity. We'll be back in just a minute and continue this conversation. I want to know more about the volunteers.
Stay tuned. West Texas View will be right back.